Habits that made me a millionaire. How to make this video without sounding pompous? That's the part that I struggled with, but I really wanted to share with you my personal experience. As you know, if you watch my channel for any length of time, everything I share on this channel is based on personal experiences because these are the things that I've done and I've experienced and I've achieved, and which is the purpose of me starting this channel. So here we go. Welcome back to this week's video. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Jessica Gill, and we talk about all things money. I went from zero to over $1 million net worth in less than 8 years, which is the reason I started this channel. I want to share with you everything that I've learned. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and let's get started with 7 habits that will make you a millionaire. Not only these habits will make you a millionaire if that is your goal, but they will put you on the path to financial freedom starting today if you start to implement some of these things. The first habit is to keep your life simple. Focus on the things that you can control. Don't worry too much about the things that are out of your control because there's not much you can do about that anyway. And when we really look at it, what is the one thing that you can control? There's only one thing you can control in this world, regardless of what we think we can control. And the one thing that we can control is ourselves. So the only thing you can control is you. And that is more than enough to have a successful, financially free, and happy life. That's enough. What does it mean to control yourself? That means to control your thoughts, control your words, and control your actions. Once you really understand that, your life will change significantly and immediately. Keep drama out of your life. Having drama in your life, it sucks up energy, it sucks up time. Those are 2 of your most valuable resources. And remember that drama doesn't just walk into one's life. You either invite it, you associate with it, or you create it. That's the only way drama enters your life. And whether it's a drama at work or at home or in relationships, it keeps you from focusing on what's important. And I know at first blush, it might not seem like it's a financial habit, but remember, finances and money and wealth, it's just a part of our life. In order for us to be financially free, in order for us to become millionaires, if that's what we want to do, we have to set our life up. We have to make sure that we have a solid foundation. So keeping your life simple and focused, that is the most important foundational piece if you hope to have a successful life. And the second habit is to keep your finances simple. That means becoming and staying debt-free. That means living within your means. That means not having any of the financial clutter. Be organized yourself, pay your bills on time, minimize the number of banks you deal with, the number of statements that you deal with every single month. Minimize your financial clutter in terms of paper or digital or just mental. Invest your money in only what you understand. Don't follow the masses because the masses are broke. Habit 3 is to plan ahead. Take a 10-year approach. Too many of us think that we can do a whole lot more in a single year. That's why New Year resolutions are so popular because everybody thinks that something miraculous is going to happen on January 1st and somehow we're going to change all of our habits and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. We're going to save $100,000 this year. We're going to learn a new language. We're going to get a promotion. We're going to do this and that and the other. New Year doesn't really change anything. You can install these habits at any time. And also, when we put that kind of pressure on ourselves to achieve all of these things in a 12-month period, and most of the times we don't end up doing it, and what happens, it has the opposite effect from what you want it to have. And instead of motivating you, it demotivates you because you realize, okay, I had these 10 goals and I haven't accomplished any, or I've only accomplished 1 or 2. So it actually demotivates you. That is really unfortunate. So take a longer term approach. Take a 10-year approach. Ask yourself, where do you want to be in 10 years? What do you want your life to look like? Get a notebook, get a pen, and dream a little bit. Put yourself in your future 10 years from now. Who are you? What are you doing? What are you feeling? Where do you want to be? What do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? What do you want to have? What do you want to be doing? Who are you surrounded by? So take that 10-year approach, Write down everything that you feel that you want to experience or have or do, and then start working backwards from there. So if you've got a clear picture of your life 10 years from now, then work backwards from there. Where do you want to be in 5 years? In order for you to achieve that 10-year dream, where would you have to be in 5 years? And then from there, where do you want to be in 4, 3, 2, 1 year? So everything that you're doing from here onwards is feeding that 10-year dream. It's, think of it as a ladder, if you will. And everything that you're doing from now onwards is moving you towards that goal. We know time goes by very, very quickly, and you will be astonished how quickly 10 years go by. I've been doing this since I was about 20 years old. And I remember every time I do a 10-year goal, I write down the year. So right now it's 2021. So I would write down today's date and then 2031. There's power to putting a very specific date. I don't know the reason behind it, but try it. It has power and magic in it. Once you put down that date, and it seems like it was just yesterday that I wrote down somewhere, I want to have this or do this or experience this by 2021. And at the time that I wrote that, it seemed like so far out in the future. So if that's what you feel like you can't quite connect to it because it's so far out there, don't worry about it. That's just a natural part of the process. So do yourself a favor. Don't put unrealistic expectations on yourself of having 1-year goals. Think of your life in 10-year chunks. Habit number 4, be intentional. Be intentional with everything. Be intentional with your life. Be intentional with your finances. What does it mean to be intentional towards your finances? Pay attention to your money. Set aside a little bit of time to do things towards your finances, whether it's every week or every month or every day. It's entirely up to you, but set some regular parameters in place where you're paying attention to your money on a regular basis. I've created a few simple ways. I like to call them rituals because you have to use the words that speak to you. So I've put in these rituals or processes, some people might call it, in place that are really fun and enjoyable, and they keep me connected to my goals and they keep me connected to my finances, but they're also fun because personally, I know that I'm not going to do something that I don't find enjoyable. So over the years, I've created little things for myself that I find really, really fun to do. And they have had an enormous effect on my life and on my finances. So to give you an example of what a ritual might look like, I know on the internet these days, everybody's talking about automation, automate your bills, automate your savings, automate this. And that's fine if that works for you. I've never done that. And so that was intentional. I don't automate my bills. I set aside a time every single month at the end of the month. It's either on the 30th or 31st or the 1st, whichever day makes sense for that particular month. I set aside about half an hour. I pay every single bill online, one at a time. What that allows me to do is it allows me a few minutes every month to look at what I've done, to look at what I'm spending, to look at what's coming in and what's going out. And it also gives me an opportunity to be grateful that I have these bills coming in. I'm having all of these services that I sometimes take for granted, that all of us take for granted. And it gives me a moment to pause and to reflect and to be grateful for my phone, for electricity and for water and everything else in my life. I know it's small and it might sound insignificant, but it has an enormous positive impact on my life. And it also allows me to take that time to look at my bank account and look at what I might need to adjust and so on and so forth. It's 30 minutes a month. To me, isn't that worth it? So this whole automation thing, it's just not me. And that's just an example from my life. It might not work for you at all. You might think that automation is the next best thing since sliced bread, and that's okay. So you just have to find a ritual or a process for yourself that works. So that's an example of being intentional with your money. Habit number 5 is being frugal. Being frugal and being cheap are very different things. They are two very different things. Being frugal simply means being mindful. It means that you want to be a conscious consumer. You don't want to be spending money here, there, and everywhere. Figure out what are the things that you enjoy, what brings a value to your life, and spend money on those things. Being frugal means quality over quantity. Being frugal means you own things that you really enjoy and appreciate, and then you take good care of them. Being frugal means you are conscious and you're thoughtful. You're thoughtful towards your family. You're thoughtful about your future, your financial future. You are thoughtful towards the environment. You're thoughtful towards the people around you. So being frugal is very different than being cheap and being a miser. And a lot of times people confuse the two. I have never met a self-made millionaire who is not frugal, period. Habit number 6 is be willing to learn. Since you're watching this video and you're still watching it more than halfway through, that means you are already willing to learn. And then the next step on willing to learn is put things into practice. Whatever you learn, put them into practice. Even if 10% of the things that you learn, you put into practice, your life will change dramatically. And remember, being wealthy, being rich, being a millionaire, it's learned. Nobody comes out of their mother's womb knowing how to be a millionaire. These are learned habits. And of all of the millionaires in North America, 88% of them are self-made. That means they had to learn how to become wealthy, how to become millionaires. Being willing to learn means being open to new opportunities, learning and honing your craft, or whatever it is that you do for a living, whether you are an employee or you have a business or you're an entrepreneur. It means being willing to learn constantly and grow. It means learning how to be financially literate. It means putting certain things in practice. It means being a lifelong student. And the 7th and final habit is to cultivate a money mindset. And cultivating a money mindset starts with taking full responsibility for your life. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your background, your gender, your socioeconomic situation, your family background, your educational background. It doesn't matter if you've had privilege or you've had a poor family background or if you've had challenging family background. It doesn't matter where you come from. Take full responsibility for your life today. Everything you want is available to you. Have that kind of abundance-based mindset rather than scarcity mindset. Remember that for you to win, somebody else doesn't have to lose. For you to be wealthy, somebody else doesn't have to be poor because you've got now more money and somebody else wouldn't have it because you do. A lot of people struggle with this. You cannot be poor enough to help a poor person. You cannot be sick enough to help a sick person, right? If you really want to help other people, if you want to help the world, if you want to help your family, friends, and those around you, if you are wealthy and healthy and well and happy, you are much more likely, you'll be in a much better position to help other people, which is another key part of cultivating money mindset. That means helping others, be of service to others. Remember, you will be rewarded to the extent to which you provide service to others. Be generous with your time and whatever gifts that you have. I actually made a video a couple weeks ago around money mindset. I'll put the link to that down below. You can check that out if you haven't already done so. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and share and comment. Every action that you take in interacting with this video helps me, and it helps the YouTube algorithm, and that helps me spread the word. So please do that if you haven't done that already. I would love to hear from you. Which one of these habits you find that you're really good at, and which one of the habits you want to improve or you want to install into your life. Don't forget to tell me that down below in the comments, and I will see you next week.